Hello Internet, welcome back to our golf scenario playthrough. In the last episode we had to end things abruptly, but we're back here. We appear to be at a campground of some sort, which I'm not familiar with. I do see that we are lightly weary. This means that our combat will be a little bit penalized, which is not great. We talked about that very briefly in the last episode as well. And yeah, we're getting back into it. We see quite a few zombies. Let's have a look at our inventory, see what is what. We look pretty good to go, and weariness is really the only thing that will be holding us back. So what is this location here? It's a small market. Oh, that's interesting. Like an outdoor food market, or I don't know. I don't know, like a marketplace, a crap show. Okay, well, that's great. 1 minute into the video, we're getting crashes to desktops. I reverted my version of the game. We seem to be able to move now without crashing to desktops, so that's nice. Anyway, let's check out this little marketplace, shall we? Looks like some food stalls. There's a stove in there. That's neat. Vending machines, bit odd. You wouldn't necessarily expect. So like, I don't really know what this place is. It reminds me of like a craft show or fair, because these are tents. They're not actually small buildings or shacks or anything, but they have stationary furniture like stoves, which I find interesting. I don't really get what this place is. I guess maybe I haven't been to outdoor markets like I maybe should have been in my life. I don't really know what to make of this. Where are all those zombies we saw? Oh, they're to the west, if I recall. No, they're to the north. So let's fall back in this direction, and we're going to drop our backpack, because I always forget to. Hopefully, yeah, doesn't get too close. How fast are you? Slow enough that I can outpace you while walking. So we'll, oh, maybe not. Okay, so we will kite this guy. We don't want to get messed up by a tough zombie, like he just did. Every so often they get an extra move there. Looks like they're speedy enough that they can move and attack at the same time, so that's never good news for us. Let's wait till we get our stamina. We can ignore a decayed zombie. We are hungry, but we can probably find something to eat here. Okay, so where are these zombies? Yeah, they're to the north. We don't necessarily want to go up there, and they shouldn't really come bother us unless things get particularly rough, or I need to use my gun and whatnot, so we should be able to avoid that. Okay. So let's explore some. So they have vending machines. It's just a bit odd when they're outside like this. And ATMs, it just seems like a strange place for these, like just these machines, the stoves. It's just a bit strange. I don't know. Looks like some storage back here. Probably food items. Display case full of a Time magazine. It's a weird thing to keep in a sealed display case. And why are there even display cases here if this is an outdoor market? And there's nothing here. Like, okay, nothing of value in this location. Looks like some curry powder. Oh, joy. So it just seems a bit odd to me that you would go through the trouble of making kind of a neat, strange location and then having like literally nothing here. Let's move on. We'll find ourselves somewhere else a little bit more exciting. That military surplus, we still want to get in there, but we don't have the tools to do that at the moment. And I guess we could hit the grocery store and check these vans. I don't know what kind of van this is. It has a side door on it. Okay, a little fridge in here, looks like. We'll take the fruit juice. Mini fridge and a kitchen unit. I do like kitchen units. There's a bed here as well. Beds are easy to make, though. We'll mark the fridge. I don't use fridges. Kitchen unit. I don't really use fridges because I would prefer to freeze things rather than just refrigerate them. But it's something if we ever, need material or anything. Take a circ saw, why not? Has a medium battery in it. Oh, hello, Zambi. You should be not too concerning. I should be able to just deal with you with my torso encumbrance and our speed, our base speed. Okay. So this is the grocery store. I believe we just talked in the last episode about the raided locations. This is one of those locations. So in the last episode, I talked about how someone had gone in and made some of these locations a bit harder and made them looted. Once again, not only did we find another one, but it's right next door to one that already exists. Here we have a grocery store that will have virtually nothing of value. really for no reason other than to simulate, I guess, looting. But I thought that that was a plan the dev team had to do it a very specific way, and doing it this way just feels bad because there's nothing here. So it's a waste of my time. I guess there's a shopping cart we could take, but I don't see a value in that. Yeah, not a damn thing. Okay, so we're just gonna move on. Once again, just feels like a feels bad moment to have a location like this. So we'll check the clothing shop, which is somewhere I have no real interest in being. So I don't know that we're going to get anything of value out of there. A couple tough zombies. Looks like a subway station. There's not much there that I would care about. What is this? A pizza parlor? We can check that out. I guess we'll peek in. Can you see me? No, you're a headless zombie. We'll peek in the clothing shop, although I don't expect much. Faux fur. So it looks like a fur shop. Not anything I'm super interested in. We're not going to smash display. Oh, they're all display cases. We're not going to smash the display cases. It's just not worth the alarms and stuff that might go off. We will take a fur hat and we will take the duster because fur is somewhat protective. You'll see it has 6 values. The problem with fur is that it's 50 warmth, which is way too warm. We could save something like this for winter time, but we're going to be heading into summer here, so this is not going to be valuable for a really long time, if ever, because odds are good we're not going to make it that far into the game. In fact, I don't think we do take this. We'll mark it on the map. Various fur gear. I don't see a reason for us to take any of this. It's not really going to bring any value to us. Let's pop across the street, see if we can get in. Oh, Zombie Master. You feel a sudden, intense burst of energy in the air between the Zombie Master and the tough zombie. So, there are 2 types of special zombies that do some interesting things. There's the Zombie Master and the Zombie Necromancer, and I mix up which are which. I believe that the Zombie Master upgrades enemies. So what we have here is a pretty interesting sprite. It looks got shadowy tendrils coming off of him. Once human, its features have tightened, its lips pulled back into an unnatural grin, revealing rows of blackened teeth beneath its large, piercing eyes. It stands tall, and its movements are fluid and tightly controlled. A feeling of danger permeates the surrounding air, and the light that falls on it seems somehow harsher and more glaring. So what we have here is a bloated zombie. Now, previously, when we looked down here, we saw 2 tough zombies. Okay? And what I think happened is that the tough zombie got zapped by the Zombie Master, which turned it into a bloated zombie, which is technically an upgraded creature. So if we move down here, unless we see a brute somewhere, we don't. Interesting. So we're seeing actually multiple gas bags and things. So these are probably coming from a butcher shop down here. What is this? It's a pupating zombie. That's not great. And here we have these 2 tough zombies. So we saw a message about the tough zombie and the master interacting. You can see me, huh? Okay. And because they interacted, there's 2. I believe the Zombie Necromancer is the one that revives dead zombies. And then the Zombie Master is the one that upgrades them. So I suspect that this guy is upgrading some zombies. Is there a butcher shop down here? Where are those fat and gas bag zombies coming from? There is a butcher shop. Okay. Open sewer as well. So that's not great. We want to go down there and we want to shoot this Zombie Master. We can't afford to let him live for a long time upgrading or reviving or whatever he does. So we really need to kill that guy. We're going to do that with our gun because it's just going to insulate us from a lot of danger if we use our gun. It being near the open sewer means that there may be shocker-type zombies that will come over to investigate, and we're not really in a position to butcher and dissect those guys for CBMs. So it will be kind of a waste if we kill all of them and the technicians and whatnot. Secondarily, there's a park down here, so if we push too far south and we start shooting, the park zombies are going to come to the north and give us trouble. But we need to use our gun. Really no alternative. We're not going to wade into a horde where this guy could possibly upgrade or, you know, whatever, a zombie right in front of us that could turn into a very dangerous situation. So we're going to start popping off rounds. There's quite a little horde over there. Most of them are non-threatening. The gas bag zombies, for instance, are not a real danger to us. And we're going to start shooting pretty much immediately. No, please don't target the headless zombie. That's much less concerning than the others. Oh, and we're just going to plow through this little horde here for a bit. And we're going to focus on that zombie master as soon as it gets within range, because it's going to be the priority for us to kill. Now, because we have not cleared this area really, we need to be aware of zombies moving in from our west around the corner of this building. So, we need to be prepared to move and reposition as necessary. I can leave you alive really as much as I need to. You've not come to bother me, which is interesting. I don't know how frequently they get to use their special ability. Oh, danger permeates the surrounding air. Oh, scary. Okay. Let's kill the headless just so I don't have to manage it. We do have plenty of ammunition. We don't need to worry about running short. If a horde shows up, we should have enough rounds to deal with most everything. We have 107 rounds on our person at the moment. Should be plenty, plus the 1911 as possible backup. But again, it's all about situational awareness. One of the best things you can learn in Cataclysm is kind of repositioning and preparing to move and knowing where your retreat direction is and things like that. It looks like you were upgraded. I don't believe this was a thing a moment ago. Huge boomer. It is a little bit early to be seeing a huge boomer, so I'm guessing the zombie master upgraded that creature. And it looks like it may even have upgraded the pupating zombie, which has vanished. So unless it's down there around the corner, which it may be, it's not. So it looks like it did upgrade the huge boomer from the... I really don't want to shoot you. I wish you would just bleed to death. It did upgrade this huge boomer, looks like, from the pupating zombie. So that's interesting. And you probably take 2 hits, yeah, as a huge boomer. Really wish the guy next to me would bleed to death. You're only heavy bleeding. We'll shoot him. Of course we missed. Like, 50-50. Why wouldn't we miss? Minor bleeding, bad bleeding. Yeah, I don't know if I can hit this guy through you, but we'll aim at the one in the rear and hope that you bleed to death. Yeah, we hit him anyway. That's okay. Oh. Anyway, back to recording. So that's nice. Had a little bit of a snafu yesterday, which led to a shorter episode than usual. Hopefully people are understanding. My content is already pretty long. You know, I watch plenty of YouTube videos that are like 10 to 15 minutes. Mine are always, I don't know, like 35. So I think people would be pretty understanding if we had a 25-minute video once in a while. So hopefully that was a non-issue. We should be about out of ammo. I'm guessing we have about 2 rounds. Oh, in fact, it says 2 rounds. Fantastic. So we'll pulp this guy immediately on the off chance that he would revive and cause us some trouble. Pretty interesting to see one of them this early, but I've seen them pretty early before, so might have just been, some RNG. Okay, so here comes the horde that I was saying was a possibility from the west. So that's not great. But again, we have plenty of ammunition. These guys are mostly not very impressive. They're very standard zombies. Where are you coming from, though? A garage, probably? It's the only special building I can see around here that would spawn a group of decayed zombies like that. I can't really think of where else you would come from. I don't know why they would be in a garage, but it's the only thing I see. Let's reload. We don't need to drop our mag. That's fine. And we'll continue shooting. Yeah, so we had a short episode yesterday, but it is what it is. Trying to get back in the swing of recording. It's actually been really difficult lately. So, for instance, today, I got up, at my normal time. I work at night, so I get up around 2:30 in the afternoon, which is like 7-ish hours for me. So it's a pretty big horde here. Still nothing I'm terribly concerned about. So we're just going to keep shooting them, and we'll fall back as necessary. The problem with falling back is that as we shoot and retreat, we're going to draw more enemies from the north, which is something we would like to avoid. Oh, and obscuring my vision is not great either. Yeah, I think we're okay. I mean, I'm not concerned we're going to die. It's just going to eat a lot of our ammo. But it's the fastest and easiest way to clear out a horde like this, so it is what it is. I wish you would stop tanking hits. Didn't I shoot you 3 times already? Let's move to the north. Oh, hello. Are you a grabber? You're a brute. Oh my. Seeing a brute on day 10. Also, kind of one of those RNG things. Generally, you won't see very many brutes this early in the game, but sometimes, RNG, blah, 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 etc. So we're going to retreat. We're going to go to walking. That guy did die. We're just going to kind of weave through things to break up the group here. We can leave our spear behind. It's really not a concern. What is a concern are the zombies to the north. Like I said, we don't want to draw too many from too many different directions at once, especially when we're low on stamina and things like that. Yeah, it's just been a bit tricky to record. Like today, I got up and was, excited to record. I'm trying to buckle down and get some work done and be a better content creator, things like that. See if we can get eyes on them from this side, which we can. So we'll shoot them from here as well. I don't know where the brute got to. He's kind of a priority. Oh, I see you guys made it through the main. Oh, no, you didn't. Where did the brute get to? I wonder. In the building, possibly. So we'll have to be aware that he might pop out of one of these closer windows. We, again, should be fine. Worst case scenario, we can fall all the way back to our base. I don't know if I can hit you from here. You're so far away. Anyway, was ready to record about 4:30. I had myself a nice dinner, and I had a coffee and tried to wake up and be ready to record. And then my neighbor's children were basically in the yard screaming for I'm not even exaggerating, probably about 2 full hours. It's probably like 6 o'clock now, and I sat down at 4, and they just were screaming and screaming and screaming. I have made no secret about having issues with my neighbor. At 6 a.m. this morning, he was just letting his motorcycle idle right outside my window, which is super fun. They're not used to living in a town. You can tell that they are hillbilly types for sure. My family member keeps calling them hillbillies, and I think she's right, which kind of makes me feel bad because I've always been in the country and people have always treated me like a hillbilly, but I've lived in town my whole life. I know how to respect people, there's just a lot of stuff that's I just wish they were more respectful, respect is a huge thing to me. If someone's, I spend a lot of time on the internet. There are people who are super mean online and they have this attitude of oh, well, it's the internet, so I can say whatever I want. And it just rubs me the wrong way when I meet those people because respect is so important to me. And I always try to treat people with respect until they, do something that shows me that they don't deserve it. So when I meet people like my new neighbors and they don't do anything, to make it easy on us, instead of being loud and obtrusive, instead of, doing whatever they want, maybe, show a little respect for the people that live around you. You live in a town, in a neighborhood now. You can't be blasting your music at 11:30. You can't be falling down drunk outside and howling at the moon like a crazy person. So for me, it's been very frustrating. And then trying to sit down and record. Now that it's summertime, I'm sure the kids will be out all the time, which is totally fine. They're kids, but I expect better of the adults, and two, I expect adults to do better with their children. People often have the attitude of well, it's a kid, kids are loud. What are you going to do? All right, the fire sirens have gone, and I think we can record again. Anyway, yes, I think that people always say things like, "Oh, it's a kid. What are you gonna do? Kids are loud." But that's such a cop-out answer. That's like saying, your dog barks all day, and you're like, "Yeah, well, it's a dog. Dogs bark." That's completely removing your personal responsibility. Yes, your children by nature are loud creatures because they don't think outside of themselves. They don't think about other people and how they're affecting the people around them. But you as a parent have responsibility to actually teach people things and that's not even a good comparison because you can teach a child much better than you can teach a dog, right? If you tell a dog, hey, what do you do if your dog barks all day? What do? You point your finger at them, you give them a cross look on the face, say that's bad, no barking, and then eventually over time, ideally, the dog starts to associate, hey, when I bark, I get fussed, and I don't like being fussed. I like, when my owner is happy and gives me treats. I don't like when they point at me and say, that's a bad girl, right? So, it's hard to teach a dog something because it has to equate that in its little doggy mind, right? Whereas a child, you can actually explain to a child, like, hey, you need to stop screaming. You're standing in the yard. No one is around. No one is talking to you. You're not playing a game. You're literally just standing there and screaming. That's not acceptable. We don't do that here. We think about our neighbors, think about the people next door. Think about all the people who right now trying to go about their day and you're screaming for no reason. That's not okay. You need to stop doing that. And then ideally, a child can understand that logic, regardless of, assuming they're not super, super young. But you as a parent have a responsibility to teach your children things. You don't just let them, like, what if your kid went up and punched a guy in the face whenever they felt like it? You would tell your kid, hey, we don't punch people in the face. Stop doing that. And if they did it, you would punish them and you would teach them that that's not acceptable behavior. So it's much easier to teach a kid something than a dog. And I've taught my dogs mostly to not bark. So why can't you teach your kid not to scream like an idiot for 2 straight hours? Anyway, not to ramble. It's just been a rough day. I had expectations on what I was going to do today, and then some random kids next door ruined that, and I felt very frustrated because I'm already behind in a lot of my stuff that I wanted to get done over the last week, being sick and everything. So just feeling extra frustrated today. And then it doesn't help that, it's in the morning when I lay down to go to bed, he idles his motorcycle outside. It just makes me crazy. And most of my life, I would have gone over there and said something and been really aggressive with him. Really, you're not going to bleed to death. Oh, you're still bleeding. Just shoot him. I don't want to lose my stamina and risk getting punted. It's not worth it. Okay, so we seem to have cleared out most of the horde. I think we can ignore you. You're the one in the... Oh, no, you're not the one in the fence. I wonder where that dog was. Okay, well, we're going to trickle back through here, and we are going to pulp all of these corpses. Let's check our ammunition. We have about 50 rounds of the 120 that we started with. It's not great to spend that much ammunition, but you saw the size of this horde. It would have taken us a long time to clear this with melee, and we would have had to be very careful about it. Are you also a brute? What are you? You look like a brute. Oh, no, the tough zombies share the corpse sprite, I guess. Okay. Oh, I don't have my spear, so we do need to shoot this guy. I was going to say I can just pull out my spear, but we actually left that back in the street, so that is not something we can do at the moment. Firefighter has a toolbox of 4 items. How do I see what's in you? It has a filing quality, screwdriving, and fine screwdriving, so it probably contains a screwdriver set and a file. What would be the other? How do I... Is it the... Yeah, greater than, less than. Okay, what do we got? Funnel, not useful. Screwdriver set, sandpaper, and a file set. So the filing quality comes from both the sandpaper and the file set. I will take that, both to have a toolbox and also to have the file set, I think, is worth it. The rest of the gear is not. The rest of the gear is in pretty bad condition. Make sure we pulp everyone as we go. We don't want anyone reviving on us and making us do all of this all over again. How are we doing on our current clip? We have 21 rounds. Okay. I don't remember there being blood in here previously. Is there a corpse laying around that I don't see? Looks like they went out the north here and then bled to death. Interesting. It's pretty interesting because that tells a little story of how this zombie did not make it. Down here, keep checking for bodies, make sure there's none left under other items. Peek around the corner. There's one over here to our east. We really need to pulp. We did pulp the master. Well, that's really good news. There's some birdshot here, not really very valuable. One of the worst ammunitions in the game. Let's continue clearing this area and just keep our eyes peeled for anyone else that might be trickling along behind us. Deal with these people here. Great. Let's just pulp these corpses here. I don't mean to fuss about my neighbors so much. It's just very frustrating. The people who lived there previously were like 85, I believe. And they lived there for a really long time, ever since I was a kid. And, in hindsight, kind of miss these quiet, nice people that live next door as opposed to the loud, obnoxious people who live there now, and it's just sort of derailing my life. I don't know. And I don't handle things very well. You know, I meet people and I talk about things and people are always like, so what? What's the big deal? And I don't know. I get very frustrated over little things. I get very upset over small things, and they really bother me and they really derail my life. You know, like I just can't handle even small changes to my schedule. When I expect to do something and then I can't do it, it throws me off. Or like we've talked about it before, if someone like springs something on me, like I wake up and someone's like, "Hey, we have to go somewhere right now." It frustrates me because I really, really feel like I need to know things ahead of time and have a schedule that I can stick to. Otherwise, I get very uncomfortable. I don't know what it is about me that makes me like that, but I don't know. It's come up a lot. I remember watching a movie. I can't remember what it was, but there was one character, and like their parents said something, like they were talking about their kid to another couple or whatever, and they were like, "Yeah, she just can't handle things the way most people can. She gets very overwhelmed, and then she can't do anything when she gets overwhelmed." And I don't know what movie that was, but that's exactly what it is. I get very overwhelmed by really small, inconsequential things that I don't know why they bother me so much, because they really bother me. Like, no matter how small, they really bother me. Where is this firefighter you speak of? Trapped in a fire engine, presumably. Let's go down there, because there's going to be a lot of... Oh, we don't have room. Well, let's look anyway. Let's look and see what we've got. Did we loot this previously? Man, I get it. You're in a van. I'll let you out. Calm down. Come over here. Oh, are these other turrets still alive, by the way? No, we pretty thoroughly cleared out that area. And we took all the magazines, so I don't think we need to worry about checking them for clips or ammunition. All right, what do you got? Oh, just terribly damaged. Okay, well, we'll take the PBA mask. I think we have one, but always pick up a PBA mask so that you can use it for welding purposes. There is a lot of turnout gear here that's in pretty good condition, and unlike what we're wearing at the moment, this is actual armor. Actually, the motorcycle armor is actual armor, but we don't have anything on our legs that's armored. And we could throw on a pair of turnout trousers. How encumbering are you? 24 up to 30 when you're full. We could definitely wear some of this gear. Why don't we call the episode here? That way I will know at the top of the next episode that I need to take this gear with me back to base, but we're full up inventory wise, so can't really just do that quickly now. So everyone, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed my rambling. I'll be back with more Cataclysm in the near future, and I'll see you next time.